Hey everyone, it's Justin. Thank you for watching and welcome to my house. That's Justin's house. It's time for ServiceNow Store Highlights, or SSH, version 03102023. That's right, March 10th, 2023, and we've got a doozy for you. I will tell you that ServiceNow has been busier than a one-armed paper hanger. You can take a look here. There are over 164 applications in this week's update. Since I did the last episode, 164 new or updated applications. You can see in the middle there, we have in store for you today 3 new releases, 43 highlights, 11 compatibility updates, 97 fixes, and 10 release notes fails. Wah, wah, wah. So let's get to this really quickly. It's going to be a longer episode than normal, so I'll try to go a little bit faster. But let's look at release notes fails. We won't spend too long here. For those that are new, release notes fails are I couldn't figure out what the heck updated these because the release notes either were the same, linked to something that didn't provide actual release notes, or there just wasn't anything there. It was just information with nothing to tell us what was going on. So, Advanced Promotion Engine, BT Change Management Integration, Instant Security Center, Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager, Spoke, NetEnrich Connect, Process Optimization, Workspace Components, VMware Carbon Black Cloud, VMware Carbon Black Cloud for IT Service Management and for Security Operations, and Wiz Integration for Configuration Compliance. All release notes fails. Sorry for that. Let's go to compatibility updates. Compatibility updates are those applications that got upgraded to be compatible. In almost all of the cases, it was either San Diego, Tokyo, or Utah. I really did see some San Diegos in there. But let's take a look at what those were. There was 11 of them. ACL Assessment for Reports, Apoxio Employee Hub, Digital Shadows Connector, FM Systems Integration Engine, INRI Coach, INRI Expense, and INRI Learn, Performance Management, Expense Management, and Learning Management System. Onapsis Vulnerability Integration, PagerDuty for Customer Service Management, Roadmonk Spoke, WebEx Contact Center. So all of those compatibility updates, if you are looking to upgrade and you're using any one of these, you might want to go check those out. All right, let's get into the big group here now, the fixes. I am not going to read all 97 of these to you. You're welcome. You can see here a lot of components in the data visualization section or platform analytics. So breakdowns and chart sizes and stuff like that all had these minor bug fixes. So all these, either they had a one-line item displaying what the fix was, or it just said bug fixes or defect fixes, something like that. So that's the first page. Here's the second 20. Again, more stuff from ServiceNow, Agent Client Collector, AI Search, Calendar Components, Change Management, Collab Services, Commercial Lines Claim, Consumer Service Portal, CrowdStrike Spoke, Customer Service Portal, Data Viz Core, Docker Spoke, Expanded Model and Asset Classes. Let's go to the third page. Financial Service Operations, Google Calendar Spoke, Health and Safety Components, Health and Safety Incident Management for Service Operations Workspace, Integration Hub Dashboards, Interaction Management, Investigation Framework, Metrics Collector, etc., etc., etc. I'm going to stop reading all these or I'm going to lose my voice by the end of this episode. Here again, some more Service Operations Workspace, tons and tons and tons of updates from the ServiceNow team. There's like sprinkled in here a couple non-ServiceNow apps, but like almost all the 97 fixes were ServiceNow spokes, ServiceNow components, ServiceNow applications that were even new just a month ago in February with the early access, I always mess that up, release of Utah. So what I would recommend when you see this level of updates, go into your instance, go to System Applications, All, and filter on updates. You're just going to need to put in these fixes if you have any of these installed, and there's so many of them. I wouldn't even try looking at these in the store. You probably just need to go to your instance and take a look at what's important. All right, now that we got the bulk of it out of the way, let's take a look at the fun stuff. We'll do the IBM Licensing for Software Asset Management, new application in the ServiceNow Store. There was only 3 this week that were new in the ServiceNow Store. So this takes us to that one. We'll open that up. And let's see, we've got Discover and Classify IBM Products using ServiceNow Discovery and Software Asset Management version 1. Key features here: IBM Subcapacity Management, IBM Licensing Expertise, Simplified License Management, Additional Validation and Confidence, and Achieve Full Visibility to your entire IBM software spend. Let's take a look at some pretty pictures. There is a workspace, looks like the old SAM workspace actually. That's interesting. For IBM, there's the details of the different items or pieces of software and whether they're compliant or not. Let's take a look at the second screenshot. IBM Managed Service, gather and normalize data, apply licensing rules, reconcile, remediate, and optimize. Roar, I like that. So that is from Elevate and Angle Point. Okay, deployment analysis. So some process graphs. This is not what I was expecting. That's what I was expecting, but not this stuff right here. So, okay, take that for what it is. This is coming from Angle Point Group Inc. for IBM Licensing for Software and Asset Management. Let's take a look at the next one. Is from KPMG Powered Enterprise, risk enabled by ServiceNow, proactively manage the risk / return equation to earn stakeholder trust. Key features: functional process flows, service delivery model technology, and performance insights and data governance. Technical features: role-based process flows, leading practices in design, role mapping and sizing by function, supporting technology overlay, application architecture, data flow diagram and integrations list, environment architecture, reporting package and dashboards, MDM design and governance, and security and controls. Yeah, security and controls. No graphics for this one, but that is new from KPMG. Let's take a look at our next new app here. It's going to be, how about we do this? I'll be a little faster. It's going to be Serenity Occupational Health Management, version 5.4.1. So this is interesting. Notice I don't have a version history on this, and it is initial release according to the release notes, but it's version 5. So I was a bit confused, but it showed up as a new release. I hadn't seen it in all my crawls since then, but let's take a look. Streamline and optimize all aspects of your occupational health program. Key features: enables occupational health management via employee health records, cases, clinic visits and notes, exams, evaluations, and employee health release requests. Let's take a look at the pretty pictures for this new app. I've got an occupational health dashboard with some information. I've got an employee health record, and oh wow, employee health record with cases, allergies, medications, vaccinations, visits, evaluations, and release requests, employee health release requests. And I've got an evaluation with a workflow at the top, new, open, pending, closure, complete, and all the details there for DJ Wolfson. So that is the, oh nope, there's one more pretty picture. Sorry, there's a case view of a case in the workflow, and there's a vaccination view, COVID-19 vaccine on May 18th, 2022. Visit tracking, so this is a visit record for DJ Wolfson, the employee, and routine checkup after case involving all 3 exams. And allergy tracking, so we can see his allergy to peanuts, the severity of the reaction, typical symptoms when he has that. Pretty cool stuff there. And back to the dashboard. Okay, so that's all the pretty pictures for Serenity Occupational Health Management. And that was the new releases. All 3 new releases in this episode of SSH. So we're going to move on to the highlights. There's 43 of them. We're going to move quickly on a lot of these because they're kind of little onesie-twosie things, so it won't take us too long. Version 2.7.1 of AI translations powered, I missed it there, by Lionbridge. This is to translate your entire ServiceNow instance. Version 2.7.1, minor improvements for language detection. So that's what's new in that particular one. Let's go to Optimizer. Optimizer is empower IT application owners and enable savings today. Version 2.0. Portal interface updated, help text added for widgets, software model analysis added, IT application owner dashboard with APM and SAM savings opportunities, contract renewals, and application inventory data maintenance workflow, business application dashboard with duplication analysis and compare applications report, and business engagement application scorecard. All that from Optimizer. Asset Management Common, a ServiceNow application, version 6.01, fix the security ACLs for the common tables for recall, RMA, lease, and asset refresh, and report view ACLs. From BT Digital Services CMDB Sync, they got to version 1.0.19, and I included this so you could just see what it go through to figure out what the heck got updated. Notice that version 1.0.19 is below version 1.1.01, and it's saying that it was released on August 30th of 2021, and this one's from November 15th of 2022. This showed up all of a sudden. I think something updated. I'm not sure what the heck happened. So if you're using BT Digital Services CMDB Sync, there might have been an update. It's a little confusing on what exactly happened there, but on to the next one, BT Digital Services IM and SRM. They're on version 1.1.20. Utah, Tokyo, San Diego, Rome, April 1st, 2022. Okay, here's what's confusing about this. Again, I included this on purpose. April 1st, 2022 is certified for Utah? Huh? What? Utah is not out until, or it's kind of GA or EA at the moment, but it's not out until the end of March. So how did April's release get Utah, but October's release doesn't have Utah, and it's only good for Tokyo, San Diego, and Rome? So what I think happened is I think that it's compatible with Utah, but I'm not sure. So again, just like the last one, if you're using VT Digital Services, IM and SRM, something may have got updated, and it's fishy, and we're not sure what, and by we, I mean me. So next up is Cohesity. ServiceNow integration that allows you to protect and recover VMs in vCenter and AWS, and databases in Oracle and MySQL, or Microsoft SQL, with policy-based automation. I almost said authentication. So version 5.2.2, their latest release included the proxy server and the cluster configuration page, set default timeout to 10 minutes max for all HTTP client calls, and enhanced debug logging statements. So that's what's new with Cohesity. We'll check out content publishing. That's a ServiceNow application version 28.0.4 with some bug fixes, but it didn't just say bug fixes, it gave me a list of them, so I thought I'd share. Content schedule on UI Builder Workspace is when. See, do you guys see this too? Content schedule on UIB Workspace is when CG is installed. So, okay, I have no idea what that means. Rich content widget no longer errors on upgrade from the November-December 22 Utah true-up versions to March 23 version. Content library now enforces ownership restrictions and audience user criteria, and user type can now be changed after creation. So that's new 28.0.4 on the content publishing application from ServiceNow. Next up is going to be the Coupa spoke. Simplify and accelerate how you integrate with Coupa. This is a small one. Added manufacturer part number output field to get PO line action. So if you're using that Coupa spoke, you may want to take a look at that update. SciCognito app for vulnerability response got upgraded to version 1.2.0 and now has the ability to receive issues from SciCognito into ServiceNow as vulnerable items, to receive assets and into ServiceNow as CIs and discovered items, ability to link vulnerable items and CIs using CI lookup rules, and provides a dashboard for an overview of data. So that's new. Well, is that new? That is the same as December release. So I'm not even seeing Utah up here, but they did go to version 1.2.0. So this is actually what Justin would call a release notes fail. It just snuck by me. I didn't see it. So see, this is what we mean by release notes fail. Same exact release notes. Obviously someone copy and pasted or didn't delete the old release notes, and it made me think there was an update and I knew what it was, but I don't, because it's not complete. So we're going to change this. This is going to change our stats for the episode to a release notes fail. All right, next up, Global Link Connect had an update to version 4.3.1. This is cloud-enabled globalization management. Added support for translating content from the sc_cat_item_content, and includes some bug fixes and improvements. Up next is the Google Hangout spoke. That got upgraded to version 1.1.0, and there's a new authentication template for easier spoke setup. There's going to be several of these in this batch of highlights, and I kept them because anything that helps ease setup for these, I wanted to highlight and say, hey, if you've been wanting to use Google Hangout Spoke or you're using it, this new capability might benefit you. Let's take a look at the next one, GRC SIG question integration, or SIG questionnaire integration, version 16.0.2, added the SIG 2023 questionnaires. So if you're using GRC and you're using SIG questionnaires, you may want to take a look at that update. Next up is going to be guardrails. Guardrails got updated to version 7.6.5. New features added to system scans. Utah, Tokyo, San Diego, Rome. Did I do this again? Is this another release notes fail? Well, I mean, that could not be a release notes fail. They may have added more new features to system scans. I bet you that's why I kept them in. So unclear really what happened in here. I do have some release notes, but if you're using guardrails, you may want to take a look at that particular update. Let's take a look at health and safety incident management. There were 3 others, but this one actually had release notes in it. And fixed observation state field, OSHA report export, injury/illness mandatory fields, report view ACL fixed, and landing page inclusion of standalone injuries in version 2.0.2 from the health and safety incident management application. Illumio app for CMDB got an update to version 1.4.4. Release notes for that version resolves an issue where if a field selected during field mapping is not a reference field, then it does not get mapped properly in the app's workload table. So if you've been having issues with that for Illumio app for CMDB, you may want to take a look at that update. Next is indoor mapping from ServiceNow, got to version 1.4.0, and new in this one, ability to ignore certain layers or hidden layers from being processed by Map Studio. So when you're loading those CAD drawings, you can ignore some of those layers or hidden layers and apply to simplify map geometries to improve performances. I like the pluralness of that, improve performances. So that's version 1.4.0 from indoor mapping from ServiceNow. Info BIP notify, that got an update to version 1.1.6, and that, oh, this is cool. Actually, I want to celebrate this, cue the applause or whatever. This was actually in our last episode, and Justin, me, was confused because it said February 2022 release, and it had these release notes. And I kept it in the episode because I was like, hey, I think they just messed up the year, and they meant, they had 2021, 2022. They meant to say 2023. Well, to my delight, in this edition, in this small version increment, they corrected the February 2023, so it validated I was correct. I think that's all that changed here. I don't know. I didn't talk to the company that does this, but if you work for InfoBip Notify, thank you for updating it so Justin doesn't think he's crazy. And if you are using this application, you may want to go check out those new features. Next up, Jira Management Service or Jira Service Management Spoke from ServiceNow, upgraded to version 1.1.0, and new, there's that authentication template for easier Spoke setup again, plus they fixed an error while uninstalling the Spoke and create a customer request action. That is what's new with the Jira Service Management Spoke. Next is Metric Intelligence, also from ServiceNow, upgraded to version 2. And what's new, Advanced Promotion Engine allows promotion of anomaly alerts to IT alerts only if they meet a set of predefined conditions. So that is new from Metric Intelligence. And next is going to be the Microsoft Azure DevOps Board Spoke. And let's see what changed in version 1.8.1. Changed the Spoke name and fixed the issue related with formatting observed in a create work item and update work item actions. I don't know what the previous name was. I thought it was always Microsoft Azure DevOps Board Spoke. So must not have been. Or maybe it said ADO or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, that's what's new with that one. So if you're using that one, you may want to go check out that update. We've got 22 more to go here. Notify Zoom connector. This is something else again from ServiceNow. Version 1.3.4. Okay, this one I'm not going to read. You can see what's on the screen. And essentially what I got from this is Zoom is transitioning from their token verification or current verification token to a secret token. So ServiceNow is letting you know how they're going to handle this and address this in the release. So I'd say if you're using the Notify Zoom connector, this is a very, very important update. You need a transition plan for this whole thing. So this is the first kind of serious update I've seen in the store where it could really be impactful if you just automatically hit the update thing here and didn't follow whatever that transition plan was. So if you're using Notify Zoom connector, check it out, read the release notes, follow those instructions, and make sure you upgrade the right way. Performance Analytics for Vulnerability Response got an update to 12.7.1. New, the Detection Overview dashboard provides an overview of vulnerability detections, promoted detections, suppressed detections, and vulnerable items. That too is from ServiceNow. Did I tell you ServiceNow has been busy? Planned Maintenance Management, new in that one. Version 1.0.5, they fixed the optimal creation of business rules on plans to address performance issues, allow schedules to be created for table names more than 40 characters long, and restrict changes to the next run value before work order creation when source values are changed. I don't know why I found that funny. I just love little random limitations like that someone's running into and they don't know why. And they're going to read these release notes and go, really? It was because the table name was more than 40 characters long? That's what made me laugh. So I'm not making fun of anybody. It's just, that's IT. That's, computers for you. All right, let's take a look at the next one here. The next update is going to be from Planned Work Management, not Maintenance Management, Planned Work Management. And that's version 1.2.2, fixed, skipped creating duplicate schedule occurrences for fixed end date, schedules using the run on demand option, update the install base for install base type planes, update correct next runtime, during preserved calculated interval is false. During preserved calculated interval is false. That doesn't make sense to me, but I'll keep reading. Update work notes and create planned work records for future effective date plans. So if you're using planned work management, there's some stuff that got updated that doesn't make sense, but you should check it out. Next, Platform Analytics Workspace, one of my favorite features from Tokyo. That got an update to version 2.1.1. They fixed pagination controls for the dashboard overview tab. The top section above the tabs has a maximum height. The headers and controller actions on dashboard editing are also available when Next Experience UI is disabled. And redirection from indicator scorecard and simple list elements from the dashboard. Now, I recognize these release notes because there was probably at least 10 to 20 of those at ServiceNow or visualization components that all had these same release notes. And so I tucked those all into the fixed category and left this main application platform analytics workspace so you could see what those release notes were. So obviously a lot got updated in there. Notice the version on that was Utah as well. So they're just getting ready for that. General availability of Utah is what I suspect. Playbook experience components from ServiceNow, version 23.1.3, fixed. Made icons visible in the horizontal stage picker, updated filter to work as expected, updated the browser back button response so it takes you to previous activities, etc. And some accessibility, adding an ARIA label to the input field in forms. I feel like I should know what ARIA means. And added alternative text to images for stage and activity elements. That's new from the Playbook Experience components. Pluralsight spoke, also developed by ServiceNow, version 1.2.0. There's that new authentication template for easier setups. You should check it out. Process optimization, also from ServiceNow, version 23.1.3. Fixed finding definitions, advanced transition, multidimensional model graph, and multidimensional model graph. So 2 fixes there around that multidimensional model graph. So if you're using the process optimization application in ServiceNow, you should check out that update. Next, Service Graph Connector for Avantra, that got updated to version 1.0.2. Improved the identification of servers, and a role for import user was changed to import_admin. Please use that role from now on. Look at how polite they were. Please use that role from now on. Great example of release notes and communicating well with your customers. All right, let's take a look at the next one, ServiceNow Enterprise Asset Management. I think this is a big one. Version 4.0.1, fixed. Asset eligible for refresh card is loading empty even if the records exist. Enterprise Asset Technician does not have access to deploy and refresh reclaim task. Performance issue with EAM Workspace when creating an asset from any of the tabs. Adding model component attributes columns. Creation of enterprise model is throwing an error. All consumable records are getting released for pre-assembled assets. And performing normalization for an already normalized model is marking the manual model as manual normalized. I interpret this as, they did the early access, early release back in February. And I'm wondering, this is Justin speculating, this version 4.0.1 released in March, did they find some stuff when they released that and maybe had some, people who were testing and stuff like that, identify these and got them fixed before everybody else gets it in GA or general access? So if that is the case, that's awesome. Either way, it's good that they're getting it fixed, but I like the fact that maybe the EA program is being used to make GA better. I think that would be pretty cool if that is the case. Next up, Slack spoke from ServiceNow. I think this is going to be the authentication template. Nope, it's not. New action open conversation. They changed the renamed action category from channel management to conversion management, renamed 10 actions, and fixed the added support for a special character like the tilde. Boy, I haven't actually said that word out loud in a long time. The tilde. That's version 1.6.0 from ServiceNow for the Slack spoke. Smartsheet spoke. Also got an update to version 2.1.2, added actions beyond user management and subscription management. Oh, you know what? This is another one of those funny ones where Justin's got to figure out what the heck happened. So the reason I kept this one is version 2.1.1 was Utah, Tokyo, San Diego, Rome with the same release notes in January. And then now 2.1.2 is Utah only with the same release notes. So calling your attention to this because some of this is confusing, but if you're using the Smartsheet spoke, and depending on what version of ServiceNow you're using, you may want to go take a look and see if you need to update, if there's any requirement. Not a lot of details there other than some renamed actions or 10 additional actions. But next is going to be Software Asset Management SaaS License Management, also from ServiceNow, version 11.0.6, retrieving the user subscriptions of all license types supported by Miro. Miro, yeah, Miro software, I guess that makes sense. There's actually a Miro spoke in here. I don't know if I've got to it yet, but fixed download subscriptions for Monday.com integration, fixed subscription assigned field issues with Zoom integration, and updated Microsoft Dynamics 365 subflows to filter out unsupported identifiers. So that's what's new from the Software Asset Management SaaS license management application. Stave Data Tools got an update to version 3.2.8. Data mask definition table filter can be set as case sensitive or not case sensitive. So that was new from Stave Data Tools. They've also got their QR code generator that got an update to version 4.3.6, and that has the QR code logo image support in this particular version, released on March 6th. Next up is going to be the SumTotal spoke. SumTotal spoke, simplify and accelerate how you integrate with SumTotal. Their version, new authentication template, there it is. I knew it was coming, for easier spoke setups. If you've been working on the SumTotal spoke and had any issues, you may want to go check it out. It might be easier now. Next up, T-Systems Connector. That got an update to version 2.2.303. Wow, that's a very high number. Okay, and I actually got release notes. This is good. Minor changes. Small bug fix for order management, fixed outbound attachment problem, enhancement for a performance issue in prod for DPDHL portal, an enhancement product customer DPHDL, except I don't know what any of that means. Sorry, guys. But there are some changes to the T-Systems connector. So you may want to check that out if you're using that application. Next is going to be Tier 44 EM/8 Make Data Center Workflow. Version 5.2.0 has been updated and certified for Tokyo, so it's a compatibility release. This version introduces the first version of T44's client-side DCIM rendering functionality, as well as many other UI changes and improvements to other tools. I think DCIM is how you model your data center, I think, if I remember correctly. But you can see the new functionality there. I'm not going to read all that to you. Some rendering, relationship builder, interface builder, configurable page layouts, more customization features, and more roles to access the Tier 44 tool. So nice healthy update there from Tier 44 Technologies Inc. Next on the list is ServiceNow's vulnerability response application, upgraded version 18.1.1. New. Assess exposure assessment by common vulnerabilities and exposures, or CVEs, and vulnerability promotion rules. So 2 new updates. It looks like related to SAM and set of rules based on which detection are promoted to vulnerable items. Okay, so new from the VR application from ServiceNow. We have also got the vulnerability integration with CISA version 1.2.1. Changed the CISA exists column label on the SN_vol_entry table, and when the value in the CISA kev bod 22-01 changes, I think people are putting stuff in here just to see if I can say it. The vulnerability entry is marked for recalculating the risk score on its associated vulnerable items. We've got 2 more, everybody. I hope you hung in with me for all this. Let's check out Workplace Maintenance Management from ServiceNow. Got to version 1.0.4. Fixed some UI defects. My Plans widget name fix. Calendar view auto refreshes. Formatting alerts. Fixed the page not found error. Date validations. Filters and settings in maintenance cases, and error messages, roles, availability of maintenance management module, accessibility, keyboard shortcuts fixed. Never seen keyboard as 2 words. Few security defects fixed, and remove the enterprise_asset_editor role, and that role was removed from the SN_WSD_maintenance.writer_role. Wow. Okay. I'm not going to be critical, but yeah, it's hard to read, hard to really understand it. You've got to be an admin really to know most of what that means. So, but new updates and details, I can't complain, from Workplace Maintenance Management application from ServiceNow. Thank you for those good release notes. If you're using it, again, you should probably go check it out and see if that's applicable to you. Last on our list, the Reich Spoke. So if you're using this, go to version 1.1.0. Yes, so we get to leave it off with new authentication template for easier spoke setup. So that is our entire show. Let's refresh our page, see how our statistics updated. We're going to end the episode with 3 new releases. I know we got rid of one of the highlights, so we're down to 42 highlights, 3 new releases, 42 highlights, compatibility updates 11, 97 fixes, I think that's a record since I've been doing this, and 11 release notes fails, for a total of 164 applications new or updated in the ServiceNow Store since our last episode. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, please subscribe, or share it with somebody who you think might be interested in what got updated in the ServiceNow Store. Until next time, don't forget to always be learning.